what's going on. So a lot of people can understand where I'm coming from, and some people, they may not be able to understand it, because what I think personally, but this is just my personal opinion, is they want to look like they freaking got everything under control, you know, and they're not really dealing with their inner problems. Now, I saw a video of a Marine who was in Iraq. He was talking about how, you know, he's basically having problems dealing with things that happen over in Iraq. And how, you know, he's seen a lot of combat, seen people dying. And you know what? It's one thing for a person in a combat situation to see fellow Marines die, or their fellow, you know, saying their fellow soldiers die, or the enemy die. And you may or may not have, you know, problems with it. Some people have problems with it as nightmares and stuff like that. Other people won't. Everybody's different. But then a lot of times when you're in situations like that you also see civilians killed, and a lot of times that would be the straw that breaks the camel's back, you know. So this guy had seen some civilians killed, and the thing about it was, I think he had ordered like a rocket to be fired in this building, and he didn't know there was some civilians in there. He thought it was combatants. So when they went in to check for, you know, to see what happened, if they had killed the enemy, he found like some little kids in there, and they were dead. And it was because of the order that he gave. And you know, when you see stuff like that, you kind of, I mean, you might break down right there on the spot, man. All depends on, you know, how you were brought up. I mean, you're human, man. You still have emotions, right? Just because you're a Marine don't mean you don't have no doggone emotions, man. So, I mean, what you do is you try to check your emotions and continue on with the mission. That's exactly what he did. He continued on with the mission. And but he basically was telling people about it, and how he felt about it, and how he was having problems when he got back, talking about, you know, that experience. And then you had some people commenting on the video on YouTube about how he was like a pussy, and how, you know, he wasn't hard, and you supposed to be a Marine and all that kind of shit. I'm like, dude, have you been in these freaking combat situations before? You know? And even if you have, you probably not dealing with your doggone experiences, because you probably have nightmares you don't tell nobody. And then, you know what I'm saying, you always be trying to be all hard and shit. Yeah, we did this. I can't believe this punk ass pussy motherfucker did. You know, calling people names and shit. Be like, come on, dude. Like, everybody's different. Right? And then you even have Medal of Honor winners, man. They tear up and cry about their experiences. Oh, are they punks? Are they pussies? These dudes won freaking Medals of Honor. You gotta damn near die to get that, if you walking around. But yet they punks. Now, come on, man. This shit don't even make no damn sense to me. And I had a dude try to check me, because I told him, I posted in a Facebook group, Marine Corps Facebook group that I have, that sometimes I have problems watching certain movies. Like, for me personally, I can watch Rambo, I can watch Commando, I can watch anything that I don't really seem realistic. If it's military and shit like that, I can look at that. It's when we were soldiers, you know, Saving Private Ryan, even Full Metal Jacket, because that shit is like, because I went through the boot camp. I mean, I can understand anything that has a drama or a backstory to it, and personal, and this shit look real at certain points of a movie or a show. Yeah, it's gonna be emotional for me. I don't know why. I was able to watch it so many times. I mean, I can just quote lines in a movie. You know, that's how many times I watched. That's how gung ho and motivated I was as a Marine. But at some point, I think it was after I not even really after I stopped drinking, but right before I stopped drinking, I was drinking really heavy, and I would just watch these movies as I drank, and maybe that kind of just that got to me. And also, I mean, I didn't ever see no combat, but I was in a unit where you loaded bombs. I loaded bombs for a living. That's what you do that's what I did in my job as a Marine. I loaded F-18 weapons on F-18s, and all kind of bombs. I mean, you got 500-pound bombs, 1,000-pound bombs, 2,000-pound bombs, rockets, napalm. They don't call it napalm. They call them fire bombs. Basically napalm. Cluster bombs, rounds, which is like HE rounds, high explosive rounds, high explosive incendiary rounds. I mean, air-to-ground missiles, all kind of stuff, man. And we dropped a whole hell of a lot of that in Iraq. Only a little bit in Argentina, in Afghanistan, but a shitload of it in Iraq, and I'm talking about non-stop. Now, when you loading that, when you in a war like that, you ain't really thinking about this shit. And when you're doing it, it's afterwards when you have time to think about what happened. Like when the war first kicked off in 2003, Operation Iraqi Freedom, we had Scud missile alerts. They were firing from Iraq, and then they would give us an alarm and say, hey, missiles coming in your area. Now, missiles never did hit my base, but we still had alarms. We still had to put our gas mask on. We already had our mop level suits on. And then you had to get in this damn bunker, and the bunker is not underground. All it is a concrete like block that's put together like Legos, and it has a hollow inside, and then you put sandbags around it, and that's it. I mean, it's a bunker, but it's not an underground bunker. If you have a direct hit, your ass dead. It's really for any shrapnel. That's all it is, shrapnel and concussion. So when you have that shit going on, yeah, you scared as hell because you don't know what the hell gonna happen. But then it got to a point where we weren't getting hit. We just kept having these missile alerts. So what you do is you just try to make light of it. It got to a point where when we heard the missile alerts, we would just stay outside and continue on working, because we're trying to be gung-ho now, because we haven't had any missiles come in. so we thought we can afford to be look like we hardcore and shit. Like, oh man, fuck that damn alarm. But in the back of our mind, we're like, I hope no damn missile comes, because we didn't have no gas mask on. We're not in the bunker, and then we'll get chewed out for not being in the bunker. But really what we probably should have been doing is going to the bunker anyway. But you do that when you a Marine and you trying to look hardcore and shit. But man, on the inside, you like, fuck, I hope this damn missile don't come and hit our ass. So it's all bravado, man. And then so for a person to get online and comment, oh, you a pussy, you know what I'm saying, you gotta go to basically what you're saying, you gotta go to a psychiatrist to get help. You're a pussy, you can't handle it and shit. Like, motherfucker, like, you know how many people lose their life, kill themselves because of people like that who they don't want to be looked at as weak, so they don't go and get help. Like, you the main one to cause these motherfuckers to commit suicide. You making it so they feel like they're weak, and it's their damn fault for feeling like that. A lot of people have seen real combat. Some people have been responsible for others indirectly for getting killed. That's how I used to think especially when I used to drink. You know, you get depressed and shit. I mean, drinking is a depressant. You start thinking, then you really start thinking about what shit really going on. And man, I used to watch so many damn videos. I used to watch so many videos of people getting killed, like people getting their heads cut off, people getting their heads blown off them, and you see this shit. It was on, what was that, Live Leak? And they don't cut out nothing. They don't blur out nothing. So you see somebody's head getting cut off. You see somebody get shot point blank, and then you see blood just coming out of their fucking mouth. And you see that shit enough times, man. To me, it would get sickening. I couldn't watch it for a long time, but I would always want to watch it. And then, but what the real trigger for me was seeing things related to my job, like seeing crosshairs over a person and then watching them get blown up, because I knew I loaded weapons like that. And so I started thinking, like, damn, is that what it looked like? Because when you're in support, you're not flying the aircraft. Even the pilots don't know. They don't really see what's going on unless they watching a video of them, you know, of where the target was, and then they can see that shit. But they busy flying the airplane. And contrary to what most people understand, a lot of times, you have two aircraft, or you have somebody lasing the target. You have the person who actually dropped the bomb. He'll drop it and then he'll peel off. He won't even know what's going on. It'll be the second aircraft, his wingman, who's actually lasing the target for him. So the person who's lasing the target is the one that's actually seeing, a lot of times, the bomb going off. But he visually has to have that in his memory for the rest of his life. But he's not the one to pull the trigger. It was his wingman. So it's still kind of a disconnect there. But you still, you lasing the target. You responsible for lasing the target to have that bomb right on the center of somebody's forehead. So, man, you don't have to actually be in combat to see crazy ass shit or be responsible indirectly for somebody getting killed. I know for a fact I was responsible for hundreds of people dying, because the kind of weapons that we doggone loaded, cluster bombs. You can have at least 77 bombs. All depends on what type of cluster bomb you using. You can have multiple dozens of freaking little bomblets that can just kill people. And let me see how many cluster bombs you can load. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, you can 8, 9, 10. I think you load on the center line. At least 8 cluster bombs. Let's say you got 77 times 8. And that's on one airplane. We loading freaking 10 aircraft, man. You know how many people could die from that? And then we reloading the aircraft. And then we got napalm, I said. Do you know what that shit designed to do? Stick to you. Suck the air away. So you not only can die from the burn, but you can die of asphyxiation, because it's sucking the air from around you. So if you don't get burned, your ass can't breathe. And now you dying from that. Like, man, there's so much shit, dog. You can die so many ways. And then when you thinking about, I loaded this shit, they can get to you, man, if you start thinking about it, man. That's all I'm saying. So for people to say that, you a pussy because you talking openly about what messes you up, it's just ridiculous to me. And those are the same people probably covering up their damn PTSD. the same dude was talking about how these damn Pakistani Air Force. He said it with such vigor. Like if you didn't give a fuck about this shit, then he wouldn't have said anything about it. But he wants somebody to know how much in danger he was and shit. That's you saying it like that because you fucked up in the head over it. And you don't want nobody to fucking know about that shit. You don't want them to know that you having nightmares about fucking F4 Phantoms flying overhead. Dude, you just get help. Just get help and quit damn, raining on other people's parade, trying to look all hard and shit. You know your ass having fucking sweats and shit at night. I ain't having no goddamn motherfucker. You having sweats. You just ain't saying shit, and your wife ain't gonna say shit because you tell her not to say shit. Come on, man. We all human. That's all I got to say, man. Quit trying to down people. And let me tell you one other goddamn thing, man. Shit, I know it's a long video. Before we came back from Kuwait, we had to fill out this damn form. This form asked us, have we seen anybody killed, seen any blood, seen anybody blown up, seen your friends, seen the enemy dead? And if you said yes to any of that shit, or you having nightmares or whatever the fuck, or you feel some kind of way, you say yes to any of that shit, they say it's mandatory that you stay back for at least a week so we can evaluate you. Who the hell, you've been in the combat area, you've been away from your family for months, and now you saying that if I say yes to this shit, I gotta stay another week? Who the hell's gonna say yes? Ain't nobody gonna say yes to that shit. No, I ain't seen shit. I don't feel no kind of way. I'm good. And then okay, and then you going back with the rest of your unit. Who the hell gonna stay back a whole week? Ain't nobody gonna say yes to that shit, man. Now, if anything, you might say some shit when you get back. What the hell you doing? That's all I got to say. I know it's a long ass video, man, but I had to say something, man, because I'm tired of people always trying to act like they fucking. Even Rambo had motherfucking nightmares and shit, man. Ain't nobody damn still. Ain't nobody freaking that doggone put together that they don't have no damn nightmares. I don't give a damn. I guarantee you Navy SEALs have motherfucking nightmares. And they'll go out there and continue on with the mission. That's all I got to say about this shit. Tell me what you think.